Hey, welcome to our Saturday night yin practice. I'm Erin, I'll be leading you through this sequence this evening. We'll use our usual block and blanket, and we're going to begin in a seated position. So, just setting up a little blanket cushion. It's an option if you would like to do that. Just finding yourself in a comfortable upright seat, whatever that looks like, just allowing the spine to find some length, feeling sits bones rooted, connected to the ground. You can start to close the eyes. Let palms fall to knees or thighs, or rest in the lap. Just starting to notice the breath, feeling inhales and exhales make their way in and out of the body. Noticing how belly, rib cage, chest expand and contract with each breath. Hugging shoulder blades in towards one another gently. Starting to feel that broadness across the collarbone and the chest. If you make that tiny adjustment. And so we'll start to intentionally bring some length and depth into the breath. Sealing the lips, we'll inhale through the nose to a count of 4. And exhale out the nose to a count of 4. Equal part breath. You continue with this equal 4 breath. Start to imagine a light traveling up and down your spine, beginning at the tailbone as you inhale. Light follows the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, it travels back down, eventually reaching your tailbone and then sending it into the ground beneath you. Inhale to draw that light back up. Exhale to send it back down. Inhaling to draw the light up. And exhale, see it travel back down. Feeling that connection with the earth. Alternately drawing energy and then sending it back down. 3 more rounds of breath like this. Visualizing that light. And then after that last exhale, letting that go, bringing the palms of the hands to cup over eyes. Gently blink eyelids open, slide your hands away. Finding your vision and letting that experience of your space come back in. Bringing palms back to ground on the body somewhere. We'll inhale, draw shoulders up towards ears. Exhale, just let them fall down the back body. Inhale to circle up. And exhale, back down. Just finding some slow shoulder rolls, getting some movement and warmth into those joints, the muscles around the neck, reversing the direction. Making your way back to center, stillness. We'll start to drop right ear over towards right shoulder. And shifting gaze down towards the floor, tracing collarbone with your chin, slowly rolling the head over to the left. Shifting gaze back down towards the floor, rolling back over to the right. Continuing with some just slow neck and shoulder movement, head movement. Maybe starting to play around with it a little bit. Starting to shift gaze up towards the ceiling. Pausing anywhere that feels particularly tight or stuck, giving it a little extra attention. And coming back to center, just stacking the head right on top of the spine. We'll press palms into knees here. Inhale, start to press the chest forward, arching the back and drawing the shoulder blades back together. And we'll exhale to round the spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, arch, seated cat pose, cow pose. And exhale to curl to seated cat pose. Let's move through this. These two shapes, flowing with your breath. When you're ready, we'll start to take this into some circles. So starting to stir with the chest and shoulders. You can start out small, just kind of exploring what it feels like to move the spine in this way. And eventually start to make those circles wider. Maybe starting to rock from side to side, feeling your weight shift from hip point to hip point. And then eventually starting to reverse those circles, maybe taking them small at first. And start to widen them out. Eventually slowing back down, making your way back towards neutral. Pause, just feeling what it feels like to be still. Next inhale, we'll circle arms overhead. And exhale, drop right palm to the floor, reach up and over with the left hand, finding an opening through the side body. Inhale through center. Exhale, dropping over to the left, reaching nice and long. Inhale to center. And exhale, drop over to the right, maybe starting to open the chest up towards the ceiling a little bit. Inhale through center. Exhale over to the left. Just move through another 3 rounds of these side openers. Maybe feeling if you can move a little bit deeper into them each time. And after that last round, we'll meet back at center, arms overhead. And then exhale, sweep hands behind the back and clasp fingers at the base of the spine. Inhale to draw knuckles down towards the floor, lifting heart, lifting the chin. Take a few breaths here. Thinking about keeping the tailbone tucked ever so slightly. Last inhale. And exhale. Inhale, release hands, circle arms high. And exhale, plant hands on knees and just pause. Take a few breaths in stillness. Next inhale, we'll reach arms high. Exhale, plant left palm on right knee. Find a twist. So right hand, fingertips come to the base of the spine. Could use a block if you can't quite reach the ground behind you. Finding inhales to lengthen the spine, reaching through crown of the head. And exhale to bring that twist a little bit deeper, maybe starting to track gaze over back shoulder. One more full breath in to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Next inhale, we'll untwist, reach arms overhead. Exhale to take that twist over to the left, setting up your hands. Just letting your body settle into this twist as you breathe without trying to force it. Over the course of several breaths, you might find that you can sink a little bit deeper as things start to soften and open up. One more inhale, and exhale. Inhale back to center, reach arms high. And exhale, plant hands right behind us, kind of under shoulders, and uncross legs. Start to take a few windshield wipers with the knees. One direction, and then the other. And then if you want, you can start to bring the arms into this. As legs drop over to one side, that arm on the top leg side can sweep up. And replant, send legs to the other side. Opposite arm. Maybe you start to find some lift in the hips here, pressing it into shins to lift hips away from the ground. Finding one more of these on each side. Eventually calming back to your seat. I'm setting up for fire log pose, so taking a kind of half crossed shape with the leg so that one shin, we can start with the right leg, right shin is stacked on top of left. They're parallel to one another. Setting yourself up. Finding sits bones connected to the ground again. We'll inhale to find some length in the spine, and maybe you stay right here if you can already feel this in the outer hips. But if you want more sensation with an exhale, you can start to walk yourself forward, finding that edge of your range of motion. And then if you want, starting to round shoulders and let the head fall towards the earth. Putting a block under the forehead for support is a great way to vary up this shape. Or just supporting yourself with hands. Breathing deep. Finding your last 3 breaths on this first side. As you're ready, pressing palms into the ground and starting to walk back up to a tall seat. Release legs long. You just shake out the knees and hips a little bit. Before setting up the second side. This time stacking left shin over right. And finding that long spine to begin, and then deciding where you want to take this. And stay right where you are, or start to fold over legs. Sending breath into those spaces in the body where you feel resistance. Just inviting them to release. And finding those final 3 breaths on this side. And to come out, grounding the palms, and pressing yourself back up tall. Release legs out long. Find any counter movement would feel good. Getting some compression in the lower body, just letting all of that kind of shake out and release. And when you're ready, we'll just cross ankles to rock forward to hands and knees. And then right away, drop knees out wide, bring big toes together to touch. Sit hips back onto heels, ground the forehead for child's pose. Can reach arms out long on the mat. An option here for a little more shoulder opening to drop the hands in a prayer position behind the back of the head, creating a little shark fin. Just a gentle opening for the outer shoulders. Coming back to the breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Coming to those last 3 breaths in your child's pose. Eventually using an inhale to shift back up to hands and knees. And from here, we'll just step the feet out, kind of at the outer edges of the mat, right outside hands, to come into a low squat. From here, you can place a block underneath the hips if you want a little more groundedness and support, or just use the soles of the feet. Bringing hands to heart center, we'll start to press elbows into knees, finding that resistance, thinking about keeping spine long here. 5 breaths in our Malasana Yogi Squat. And to release this, we'll bring fingertips to the ground and send hips up into a forward fold, shifting toes to point forward, keeping feet about a hip width distance apart. And still keeping a generous bend in the knees, letting the upper body fall over the legs. And then take a ragdoll grip in the arms, so opposite hands, clasp opposite elbows. Maybe find some movement here, swing side to side. Shaking out the head. And we'll exhale to release that grip, let hands fall towards the floor. Inhale to lift halfway, reaching crown of the head long. And exhale to plant hands, step left foot back, finding a low lunge. You can drop that back knee and untuck the toe. And then from here right away, bringing hands to the inside of right foot, walking that foot out towards the outer edge of the mat, setting up a runner's lunge. And letting hips sink towards the mat. Be finding a little bit of a twist by pressing right palm into right knee, opening shoulders out to the side. You can use a block underneath hands or elbows. That would feel good. Three more full breaths. Propping yourself back up on palms, a few drops down lower. And inhale, just tuck that back toe, lift the knee, and then step left leg back forward to find our squat again. Sinking hips towards the floor, finding that prayer shape with the hands, pressing hips or knees away from each other. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, this time we can drop right fingertips down towards the right, reach left arm long. Exhale back to center. Left fingertips to the floor, right arm long. And exhale back to center, just moving through these open twists a couple more times. And after your next round, meet back in center and sending fingertips to the ground and releasing hips up towards the sky. Find that forward fold again. And then taking the opposite cross of the arms in your ragdoll. Clasping hands to elbows. Finding some movement again if that would feel good. Use an exhale, release hands towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, right foot steps back this time, low lunge. And then right away start to walk that left foot out to the left to set up your runner's lunge. Second side, maybe find that twist, bringing left palm to left knee. Finding those last 3 breaths in your runner's lunge. Replanting palms under shoulders. And from here, we'll just tuck that back toe under, pick up the knee, and step left foot back to meet right. Right away, drop knees into tabletop. And we'll just cross at the ankles, rock back onto hips, and lower ourselves down onto our backs. Here, we'll reach arms long, legs long, full body stretch. Exhale, draw knees in towards chest, hooking everything into a little ball. Just rocking out the back, finding some circles through the knees. Taking them in one direction and the other. Eventually coming back to stillness. Let's find a 90-degree bend in the knees, shins parallel to the floor. Drop arms out to a T. Inhale at center. Exhale to let both knees fall over towards the right, finding a gentle supine twist. Gaze can fall over towards left fingertips. Making sure to keep shoulders connected to the floor. If you need to use a prop, a blanket, or block under the knees, in order to do that, setting yourself up. Last inhale, exhale here. Next inhale, we'll pull knees back through center, using the core to draw them back over the body. And then exhale, let both legs fall over towards the left. Keep that gentle supine twist on the other side. Finding that last full breath here. And using an inhale to pull the knees back through center. And exhale, let soles of the feet fall to the floor, keeping a bend in the knees. And just grabbing your block, making sure it's within reach. We'll start to ground through soles of the feet, pressing into heels. Inhale to lift hips away from the mat, and then grabbing your block, choosing either the low or medium setting, and just sliding it right underneath the sacrum. And then if you want, you can start to send soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Maybe playing around with the position of the block to find that nice supportive place. Legs up the wall. And arms can just fall wherever feels natural. So a nice gentle inversion, allowing the blood flow to reverse through the lower body. And to come out of legs up the wall, starting to bend the knees, send soles of the feet back towards the floor. And pressing into the ground to lift hips, just enough to slide that block out from underneath you. Roll the spine back down to your mat. Nice and slow. And from here, starting to make your way into your final resting shape. Whatever that looks like for you. Just allowing it to be a place where the physical body can just let go of any tension or holding, be fully relaxed. You can close the eyes and find stillness. And just be present with your breath, feeling it move in and out of the body at its natural pace. And letting the effects of your practice sink in. Drawing a deep inhale through the nose, an open mouth exhale. Starting to wake up the body. Some gentle movement in the wrists and ankles, rocking the head side to side. Eventually bending the knees, drawing them in towards the chest, giving them a squeeze. And then rolling over to either side, resting your head on the bottom arm. Just taking a few breaths to make your way up to a seat. And find that nice long spine, keeping eyes closed. Inhale, hands to heart center. And a gesture of gratitude. And bring thumbs to third eye center. Taking a moment to acknowledge the light and teacher that exists in all of us. Namaste. All right, have a good Saturday night. Thanks, everybody.